Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of KPW War Zone. It is I, Tapey Styles, calling the action right down the middle as always, flying solo from the booth. And tonight, our final rest stop before Cyber Sunday, the Cyber Sunday survey, with 3 days left before the deadline, where you get to pick the matches, where you get to pick the stipulations, you get to pick the opponents, and you get to pick the production. But you want to talk about production, let's talk about the card we have here tonight. Nick Flawless, Oliver English, one-on-one for the first time ever to determine who will get the crack at Slarty for the KPW Twitch Championship at Cyber Sunday in a stipulation of your choice: Steel Cage, First Blood, the Barbed Wire Brawl. But that is not all, folks. Jim Ross goes one-on-one against Slarty, our Twitch champion, in singles action. Ricky Rhombus returns to KPW against Popo. A four corners match coming up next between Kruger, Bloom, Mosquito, and Frank Glizzo. But last and certainly not least, we'll be hearing not just from Pierre Cinema a week after the fallout, after that devastating finish to the end of Warzone last week. Who could forget when Sigma Shuko made that critical interference and threw the match out the window? I'm still in a state of shock just thinking about it. And I'm sure that Sigma Shuko will have quite the explanation for us. But it's enough talk. Let's get down to ringside. And to start things off for tonight's edition of Warzone, we have the Four Corners match between four representatives of the four teams that you can vote for the Cyber Sunday Tag Team Contenders matchup. The two highest voted teams will get the opportunity to face each other for a title shot at Summer Spark. Kruger, of course, representing Chaos Control. Mosquito here representing the wild, the uncontrollable, the unpredictable Murder Hornets. Bringing a head to the ring as always to set it in the corner as an intimidation factor. Once he has you thinking about that head and what could possibly be stuffed inside of it, he just has you wrapped up in the palm of his hand. And representing the Coney Island Express, it's Frank Glizzo. If anybody's been looking for an opportunity to shine, it's been the Coney Island Express. Coney Island, of course, being known for their Nathan's hot dog eating contest that happens annually. And speaking of dogs, let's talk about our sponsor, State Fair Classic Corn Dogs. 30 packs, $35 in your frozen food aisle at your local grocery store. Pick them up now. And if you thought this was some blatant scheme just to advertise corn dogs before the big monthly special, you may be correct. We have received this advertisement from Bloom himself representing the scheme. We've only had one other Four Corners bout here in KPW. It was at the initial KPW show, Spring Stampede. This is not your typical fatal four-way bout. This is elimination rules. Last man standing wins. We could be here for quite a while with these four. all hoping to make a name for themselves here tonight, all hoping to propel their team to Cyber Sunday, use that victory momentum to guarantee themselves a pay-per-view spot. One step closer to tag team championship glory. That is, of course, being held by our champions, Hulkamania, the Hoagie Maniac, Hulk Hoagie. And they'll be defending their tag team championships at Cyber Sunday in 6 nights against the Influence, Big Bernard and Tommy Tanks, the #1 ranked tag team across all of Twitch wrestling, as the chaos has spilled to the outside. Back suplex from Frank Lizzo, delivered with authority. Kruger and Bloom taking each other down in the southwest corner of the screen. Frank Lizzo and Mosquito representing two crowd favorite, two highly popular tag teams here in KPW. Roll up pin, no results on the outside. Frank Lizzo gets the momentum to kick out. And Kruger's brought a hockey stick into this bout. Anything goes in a 4 corners match. Chaos inside the ring, chaos spilling to the outside. Pinfall attempt, 1 count. I stand corrected here. Pinfalls do count outside of the ring in the 4 corners match. No disqualification rules enforced, encouraged. Their back suplex from Kruger. He's signaling for the Elm Street backbreaker. And Bloom just barely makes it to the ropes. The amount of pressure, the amount of tension that could put on your back, your vertebrae area. That can knock the breath out of any man. And yet Bloom is continuing the fight for his team. Another back suplex here by Bloom this time, reciprocating previous back suplexes from Kruger. Mosquito has Frank Lizzo in a compromised position here. Going up top, looking for a thump there. Frank Lizzo evades certain disaster. Or did he? Swinging DDT by Mosquito. Looking for that patented corn dog roll up. 1, 2, 3. The Frank Lizzo, in shocking fashion, the first man out of the 4 corners match. And Frank Lizzo's not happy about this whatsoever. And who could blame him? By a sizable margin, the Coney Island Express has been the odds-on favorite to make it to the KPW Tag Team Contendership match at Cyber Sunday. And to see him be eliminated first would be a serious blow to the morale of the Coney Island Express fan base. The Scheme is still represented here. The Murder Hornets are still represented. Chaos Control living up to their name here as Kruger is just choking the life, beating Frank Lizzo senseless. He's already been taken out of the match. Enough is enough. Big chops to the chest on the outside. Our referees, of course, struggling to get control, struggling to get some of these men back into the ring. Kruger and Bloom resume the action inside the ring. Mosquito could be making one strategic play here by avoiding the conflict inside the ring. Picking a fight with Frank Glizzo could be to his advantage at this point. He can't get eliminated by Frank Glizzo. And Mosquito re-enters the ring. But coming up next, filmed earlier this morning, officials sat down with Sigma Shuko to get some answers as to why he made that interference in the main event of Warzone last week. The World Heavyweight Championship match between Ding and Pierre Cinema ending in controversial fashion, ending in abrupt chaos and pandemonium, with Pierre Cinema getting a technical victory over Ding, but of course not walking away with the title. Facelock tie-ups here. Another back suplex from Mosquito onto Bloom. And over to Brentrup, missing the leg drop. Conserving this kind of energy is crucial if these three men want to have the energy to take their team to victory at Cyber Sunday. Two of these teams will be very familiar with each other once the polling is resolved on July 25th, 3 days from tonight. As Kruger gets drop kicked to the outside. But an all-out assault on Chaos Control here. Kruger, of course, being the biggest man still in the match. The biggest dog in the fight. But how much fight does this dog have? Tandem effort here. As Mosquito drop kicks Bloom out of the ring now. Roll up attempt. 1, 2. Kick out by Kruger. Kruger looking for a discus punch there. Mosquito scouted that perfectly. Guillotine leg drop from the top. Another back suplex. Handing these out like free candy here tonight. Another suplex from Kruger. Second rope leg drop from Mosquito. Anything to bring the numbers down. Pinfall attempt by Bloom. Another 2 count kick out from Kruger. These three men are willing to do whatever it takes to keep that momentum alive for Cyber Sunday. Frank Glizzo may be out of luck here tonight, but there is still a chance that the fan base, the Kumite faithful, not just the fans here in the forum, but the fans watching at home, the fans could vote for the Coney Island Express still and get them closer to tag team gold for Cyber Sunday. Mentioned later on tonight, Ricky Rhombus versus Popo, 2 of the 3 men eligible for the Jim Ross Open Challenge. But don't be too unfamiliar with Jim Ross. We'll be seeing him in action against Twitch champion Slarty later on tonight. And if Slarty thought he was in the clear, think again. He still doesn't know who the #1 contender will be for the Twitch Championship. He'll either be Mr. Pomp and Circumstance himself, Nick Flawless, or the former KPW World Heavyweight Champion, the Monarch, Oliver English. The action spills to the outside once again. Jawbreaker by Kruger. Breaking the jaw and then breaking the balls. Mosquito looking for an outside dive, and he completely misses the mark. What a smart evasion there by Kruger. Tapping into that 6th sense. I don't think this match has gone the way that anybody intended it to. This match has been completely off the rails. Pinfall attempt on the outside. Bloom almost getting defeated there. Bloom almost taken out of the contest here tonight. Bloom looking for a crossbody from the top all the way down to the floor. Falling faster than a sack of potatoes. Mosquito looking for another dive. And Kruger once again avoiding certain disaster there. Just goes to show what kind of tenacity these Murder Hornets have, where they're so willing to put their bodies on the line, so willing to throw caution to the wind and do whatever it takes to take out the other man, even if it means taking themselves out. A tope suicida was in perfect form, except for the fact that he missed. A reverse suplex by Kruger. Bloom is dazed. A second reverse suplex. It appears all 3 of the combatants here are taking their toll on Bloom here tonight, hatching up a scheme of their own. Roll-up attempt by Mosquito. 2! Kruger somehow kicking out. Frank Lizzo has a steel chair in hand, looking to do some damage. Kruger disarms Frank Lizzo right away. Pile driver by Bloom. Running crossbody. Just a reminder, Frank Lizzo is the only man eliminated from this 4 corners match as it currently stands. And he's putting quite the beat down here on Kruger. Mosquito putting in quite the beat down on Bloom here. Thinking of all the possibilities that we could get in this Cyber Sunday contendership bout in 6 nights. All the different combinations between these 4 teams. A downward spiral by Bloom. Pinfall. Kruger breaking up the pin between the 2. Snapmare attempt. Chin lock. The options here tonight, they may be slim pickings. The odd man has to go out next in this four corners bout. Pinfall attempt. Bloom kicks out. Big enziguri by Mosquito. These three combatants are at each other's throats here. Another back suplex by Bloom. Kruger getting dragged to the center of the ring. On a precarious position here. This Bloom is just choking the life out of Kruger. Back suplex by Mosquito. Bloom is dazed. Mosquito going up top. Big diving clothesline. Reverse armbar by Kruger. He's trying to snap that arm in half off of Bloom there. Make sure that his team can't make it to Cyber Sunday no matter what. Rear naked choke in response. A full Nelson slam. Who knew that these three men would have such tenacity, such animosity for one another? The drive of these three just to get the upper hand here is insane. Something's got to give here. Irish whip into the turnbuckles here. Bloom connecting with a spear in the corner. Trying to split Mosquito in half there. Mosquito making it to the ropes from that single leg Boston Crab. Kruger gets dragged to the middle of the ring once again. Pinfall attempt broken up by the leg drop. Lateral press, pinfall. Kruger kicks out. I mean, to think that we could have ran a regular tag team match with this time allotted. The fans at the Kumite Forum definitely getting their money's worth. Armbar on the outside. Mosquito's got nowhere to go. No rope breaks applied to the outside. Back suplex onto that hard surface on the outside. There's not a lot of padding between the mat and the concrete. Kruger sent into the ring post. The damnedest thing I've ever seen. This is unbelievable. A diving headbutt from the top down to the floor. Those hard-headed murder hornets. Doing whatever it takes to secure a victory. Doing whatever it takes to secure the bag. Anything to have a W right next to their names. Kruger looking for that discus punch, not getting any of it. No luck for him tonight with that move. And Bloom diving to the outside onto Frank Glizzo. Mosquito with the spinning DDT. Bloom looking to steal one here. And Kruger's been eliminated. We are down to 2 representatives for 2 teams. The Scheme and the Murder Hornets. Frank Glizzo getting dragged back into the ring. After he's been eliminated, Mosquito's not done being the brakes off of Kruger here. Tandem offense from the Murder Hornets and the Coney Island Express, that assisted pile driver. Standing tornado DDT. Been absolutely devastating. And finally, the 2 legal men remaining in this match are in the ring. One pinfall, 1 submission is all it takes to make the biggest impressions here at KPW. 1 victory could be all it takes to ride that wave of momentum to the top. 1 defeat could be completely detrimental to your career. A leg lock applied by Bloom. Big spear into the corner by Bloom. Trying to make the most out of this opportunity. When the action spills once again to the outside. The fans in the Kumite Forum are absolutely electric for this. For tonight's occasion, for tonight's episode of War Zone. It'll be our final episode emanating from the Kumite Forum for quite some time, as our newest residency starting at Cyber Sunday will be the infamous Duckburg Half Stadium. Roll up pin attempt. Will this be enough? Bloom just kicking out at 2.9. The fans can't believe what they're seeing here. They thought that was 3. Again, Zagiri by Mosquito. Big drop kick by Bloom. Bloom went for that spear again. No luck that time. Bloom and Mosquito at a complete stalemate here tonight. Somebody has to get the upper hand here. Mosquito looking for that corn dog roll up for the sponsors, and he gets it. The Murder Hornets riding that wave of momentum to Cyber Sunday. Something in the water just giving them that extra edge here tonight. Mosquito being the difference maker throughout tonight's bout between these 4 teams, between these 4 representatives. First, it was the elimination of Frank Glizzo at the hands of Mosquito. Then it was the elimination of Kruger at the hands of Bloom, who picked up the after Mosquito did all the dirty work for him. But he should have committed to the job there. He should have committed to the bit. He had to put Mosquito down, and he just couldn't do it. And how apropos is it that the state park-sponsored corn dog match ends with a sponsored corn dog roll-up? 24 minutes in, the winner of the Four Corners match, representing the Murder Hornets, Mosquito. As I'm receiving word, as we're receiving the tapes here, officials catching up with this man in particular earlier this morning about the controversial ending of War Zone last week. Despicable man, a man of lies and deception, a man that has robbed these fine people of what should have been an absolute certified Matt classic. Quite possibly the pettiest man in all of KPW. Sigma Shuko. I don't even want to look at this man. Just play the tape.
You got this camera rolling, Roger. You got it running. Good, now ask your stupid questions.
We're live, and on the set here with Sigma Shuko, a man that has made all of the headlines in the past week. Last Monday, you interfered in the first ever KPW World Heavyweight Championship bout on War Zone. What should have been a Mac Classic between Ding and Pierre Cinema is now all about you. All I have to ask is, why did you do it?
I just wanted to get this off of my chest, but I really don't understand why people think this was so shocking. I've busted my ass off night in and night out in the middle of that ring. With all the time I've put into this business, this body has a lot of miles on it. I am one of the most proficient wrestlers in the history of this sport, and I never had to take a shortcut to win a match. Not once. But here comes the self-proclaimed star of the show, Pierre Cinema. France's greatest export. Stumbling his way into lucky breaks like that world title match because he decided to take shortcuts. He cheated to beat me at Lethal Lottery cause he knew he couldn't beat me fair and square. And I'm not gonna sit on my ass and let some actor on a vanity project represent the best wrestling company in the world.
You mentioned that Pierre Cinema couldn't beat you fair and square, but if we go back 3 weeks ago, he very decisively beat you to get that title shot that you squandered for the world to see.
Roger, you're smarter than that. You really think Pierre Cinema could beat me in a fair fight when I'm at 100%? That foreign object did all the work for him, and when you ask for something cheap, well, you get what you pay for. Ricky Rhombus, you can thank me later for your rematch against Ding for the world title in 2 weeks. KPW spent all that time upping security backstage to ensure Ricky didn't show up, and all of that went out the window when I was able to buy floor seats off the arena website. We run this building every week, and not a single guard recognized me as I went through the front doors of the forum. Bunch of jackasses. It was really a perfect storm of events. With KPW and their incompetent security, Pierre's opportunity that he frankly didn't deserve, and a main event with 2 men that I've already defeated. I couldn't help but make my presence known. Not to mention, I got to personally ruin Pierre's win last week. It will always say that he beat Ding in the main event of War Zone, but titles don't change hands on a disqualification. And now Pierre goes right to the back of the line. It was the most selfless act I have ever done in my career. I wasn't pushing myself forward because the world revolves around me. I was pulling Pierre Cinema back to reality because the reality is that he'll never get that close to the world title ever again.
We heard it at the end of the broadcast last Monday night. With Cyber Sunday around the corner, the very man you sabotaged out of the world title is now your tag team partner. You and Pierre must team up against Ding and the Sauce. A lot of animosity in one match, if you ask me.
As far as the tag team main event goes at Cyber Sunday, I don't think any of us like each other. That much is clear. I've had my run-ins with the Sauce, and if I was locked in a room with any of those guys for an hour, I'd tolerate him the most. But what the hell was all that? First of all, I wasn't even cleared, and the crazy son of a bitch gives me a brain buster on the floor. Then he does something sensible when he split Pierre Cinema down the middle like it was a casting couch. And out of nowhere he decides to miss Ding after they slug it out a bit. Where the hell did he learn to do that? Anyways, my point is this. KPW loves to pride itself on the idea that they excel from bell to bell. And nobody does that better in this company than I do. I am more of a people's champion than the Sauce could ever dream of being. Everybody knows I'm the star of this show, and I don't need to convince myself of that in the mirror like Pierre does. And most importantly, I'm gonna show the world that with or without that belt, I'm more of a champion than Ding could ever be. Now get this camera out of my face, I got training to do.
Got training to do. He's been off the whole month. He's been off ever since he lost that third and decisive match against Pierre Cinema on July 1st. That man is a sore loser. But you know who knows how to take a loss with grace? Popo. Popo being one of the closest men to win the Lethal Lottery match, coming second to last in that bout against the Sauce. Hoping to build up some more momentum going into Cyber Sunday as he goes up against the returning Ricky Rhombus, who calls himself the shape of the future. Popo, of course, hoping to ride that wave of momentum by being the hometown hero, Duckburg, his ballpark, his territory. It would provide him some much needed motivation to get the victory over Jim Ross in front of all of his friends and family. But Ricky Rhombus isn't going to make it easy for him tonight. He's going to make absolutely sure that Popo doesn't get there at 100%. If that indeed is the case. Ricky Rhombus, of course, no stranger to making a name for himself, no stranger to controversy here in KPW. Picking a fight with Chris Billy on his first night, the 7'4", 525-pound man beast, our current hardcore champion, Chris Billy, who is more than willing to take the fight to anybody, having the size advantage every single time. Ricky Rhombus, of course, also being a man that got the biggest upset in KPW history after defeating Ding in singles action 2 weeks ago. Of course, earning that title shot that Sigma Shuko inadvertently protected by running in last week between Ding and Pierre Cinema. If Pierre won the championship, Ricky Rhombus' title shot would have been voided, as he is only entitled to a rematch against Ding, which he will be getting on August 5th. But as the former KPW Twitch champion, Popo taking the fight to Ricky Rhombus. Popo looking for a low blow. Ricky Rhombus wearing a cup, protecting the loins. Big splash in the corner by Ricky Rhombus, displaying some ring dominance, taking control, fighting very aggressively here tonight. Popo connecting with the low blow. Popo again looking for that snap suplex and connecting with it. If Ricky Rhombus wins the votes for Cyber Sunday and he goes on to face Jim Ross in the open challenge and he goes on to win that open challenge, imagine how much that would raise his stock here at KPW if he could defeat Jim Ross and Ding. But that's not to discount Popo. A win over him tonight would be massive. Ricky Rhombus, of course, being arguably the most impactful of the Big Four signings from Lethal Lottery. Single leg Boston Crab in effect on Popo. Back elbow thrown into the face of Ricky. Steven Gilbert, who came up short in his hardcore championship match against Chris Billy. We will not be seeing him at Cyber Sunday, but we will be seeing him next week on Warzone as he's announced for triple threat action against two of the men main eventing Cyber Sunday in that tag team match. Pierre Cinema being one of the two contestants for next week's triple threat bout as he teams up against Sigma Shuko at the premium event, at the monthly special. The other man, of course, being announced for triple threat action, the Sauce, in next week's main event bout. The Sauce, Pierre Cinema, and the director, Steven Gilbert. 9 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Central. Popo trying to build up a head of steam here. Feel the roar of the crowd here tonight. Ricky Rhombus getting a little skittish here around Popo, trying to create some distance. Manhattan drop by the former Twitch champion. From the heart and soul of Texas, Popo. I think Popo's calling for Texas T here. Connects it. Bullseye. Pinfall. Hooking the leg. And Popo gets the victory here. Connecting with that Texas T super kick right on the chin of Ricky Rhombus. He hasn't exactly had the luckiest streak here at KPW. Many critics claim that he's bit off more than he could chew since he's gotten here. And while he'll always have the opportunity to say that he demolished Ding in singles action, our current world champion, you cannot repeat the same for Chris Billy or Popo. What a fiery start to the career of Ricky Rhombus. going up against 3 of KPW's champions in just one calendar month. First the hardcore champion, then the world champion, and now the Twitch champion. Just getting a big welcoming committee when you think about it. Popo is definitely feeling excited about this Sunday, feeling excited about returning to the Duckburg Half Bowl to compete in front of his friends and family, his hometown, make them proud as he attempts to topple Jim Ross. But he's only going to be able to do that if you vote for him for the open challenge in the Cyber Sunday survey, which closes on the 25th. And speaking of Jim Ross, and ready for his bout right now, Jim Ross goes 1-on-1 with our Twitch champion, the one and only Senton Slarty. Many people have questioned if Jim Ross is the same man that we once knew back in the days of the Kumite Coliseum. But he's walking with a lot of sass. He's walking with a purpose. He looks like a man that's got absolute killer instinct here tonight. Things haven't exactly been easy for this man here in KPW. Here, Cinema has done quite a number to his reputation, and he's utilizing the open challenge to work some of it back so he can hopefully get to the mountaintops again. But he's got no easy task ahead of him here tonight. Slarty, the KPW Twitch champion, approaches the ring. And things haven't exactly been easy for Slarty either. He's been stalked, he's been preyed on by Corey Sinclair, who's been on an absolute revenge mission ever since that fateful night where Slarty knocked him out with that pop-up cutter. And here tonight we're getting 2 of the best and brightest strikers here in KPW in the same ring. Big pop-up slam by Slarty, showcasing his strength here tonight for the forum. Irish whip into the ropes. Hip toss by Jim Ross. If anybody has the tools, the skill set to go toe-to-toe in a fist fight, in a bare-knuckle boxing match, my money would be on Jim Ross. Good old JR, a former world champion in his own right. From a previous incarnation of KPW, a predecessor, if you will. Mowing down the competition anywhere he went. A lifting two-handed choke by Slarty. Slarty, of course, is no stranger to championship gold. Him and Shuko have been highly acclaimed tag team champions elsewhere. He's been a world champion, and now he is our current Twitch champion. If I'm not mistaken, he's our longest reigning Twitch champion as well, thanks to that successful title defense he made at Lethal Lottery against Corey Sinclair.
11, 13,
Corey Sinclair has not been like himself lately. radio silent. It is not his usual MO. But perhaps he believes in the old saying to not interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. He might think that Slarty's made a big mistake here going up against Jim Ross tonight. Whatever the circumstances may be, he is heading into a destination completely unknown. Slarty still does not know who the challenger will be for his Twitch championship at Cyber Sunday. He doesn't even know the kind of match it will be contested under. Whether it's against Nick Flawless, whether it's against Oliver English. I'm sure Slarty thinks that's superficial because he doesn't give a damn about anybody. He certainly doesn't give a damn about Jim Ross as he attempted that choke slam. Slarty would be at an extreme disadvantage if the fans were to vote in a first blood match for the Twitch championship. We've seen Corey bust Slarty open with just one well-placed kick to the face. Slarty learned to keep the gas mask on ever since then. A steel cage match could work out in his favor, given his strength and brutality, but who knows what the hell a barbed wire brawl could bring to the table. A boomer sooner stunner from Jim Ross. Slarty's dazed, the ropes saving him here. As we're getting word, not just for the future KPW, but for Summer Spark, our second confirmed bout. A hardcore championship gauntlet. 8 of the best and baddest men in all of Kumite Pro Wrestling will meet in the middle of the ring at Summer Spark, all for the chance to declare themselves a hardcore champion. Gauntlet, of course, being a different ballpark than a battle royal. Plays out a lot more like a 4 corners match. Slarty was looking for that 2x4, not getting any luck with it. Say what you want about the content of Jim Ross's character, but he believes in a fair fight. It's very uncharacteristic of him to rely on foreign objects to get the victory. Many people lost respect for Jim Ross when he used those steel steps to defeat Pierre Cinema all the way back at Fully Loaded. His reputation really hasn't recovered since. Irish whip into the ropes. Slarty with that avalanche sending Jim Ross spilling through the middle ropes. Big club to the chest sends JR right down to the floor. Backbreaker finds its mark. The welt's beginning to build up on JR's back just from the size of Slarty's knees. The downforce, the velocity that he's slamming JR onto his knee, it's unbelievable. Referee's getting to a 16 count. These two men are in danger of getting counted out. 18 count. And Slarty makes it back in. Jim Ross is, of course, ineligible of competing for the Twitch Championship on account of his part-time schedule. And Slarty's here to make sure that it stays part-time. These rapid-fire German suplexes just rattling the brain of good old JR as his head just repeatedly slams onto the mat. He's going down on that mat with the force. The bounce back of that ring mat is making his head hit up no matter what kind of cushioning he attempts. Again, Zagiri from the Twitch champion. Another German suplex. JR is absolutely dazed. And yet he still has the adrenaline to keep fighting the good fight here. Big clothesline by Slarty. Camel clutch in effect. JR being too close to the ropes. Clothesline by JR. Slarty looking for a choke slam, getting all of it here as he slams Jim Ross down with authority. Might have knocked the wind right out of him, and Slarty wins with a choke slam. JR taking too many unprotected shots to the back of the head there. As his head just gets absolutely scrambled, landing on the mat there. It's usually the occasion when you go up into the ring against Slarty, who's quite possibly the most brutal champion that we've ever seen in KPW, as he just slams Jim Ross down with the gust of 1,000 winds. As we hope to get another angle of this choke slam here. Closer shot of Jim Ross's head bouncing off the mat. Oh my God. That is 300 pounds of man meat slamming down to the middle of the ring. The bigger you are, the harder you fall. And the bigger you are, the easier you will be. The easier Slarty will find you to overcome. Congratulations to our Twitch champion, as he sends a message to whoever wins the contendership match up next here on Warzone. And what would typically be our main event here, Pierre Cinema, of course, requesting the final segment of the show. But Oliver English goes one-on-one against Mr. Pomp and Circumstance himself, Nick Flawless. One of these men will be going to Cyber Sunday. And betting money would be on the former KPW World Heavyweight Champion, the Monarch, Oliver English. Hoping to hand out a royal ass whooping here tonight. but it's not going to be an easy task for him. Nick Flawless making his way down the aisle here. Completely stone-faced, completely locked in. And what would technically be his first main event bout here on Warzone. And what an opportunity he's gonna get here. But he has to go through the former KPW World Heavyweight Champion, the Monarch, Oliver English, in our main event, in our technical main event of Warzone here tonight. Now, we'd like to say that Oliver English has had quite the run of things here. Our first ever World Heavyweight Champion. Quite the acclaimed title defense, that submission bout against Bam Dardino. Oliver, no stranger to scrutiny, however, as he was looking to opt his rematch clause that he earned from defeating Bam Dardino to get closer to the World Heavyweight Championship. The Sauce just outright denying him last week, telling him it doesn't matter what you've earned. Test of strength here between Nick and Ollie. Ollie getting the upper hand as a real champion would. And some may consider this a shot, but you know, if you have a real man's man, if you have a real wrestler, you don't have to parade that around. The fans will know that already. Calling yourself real just makes everybody think you're an imposter. Not like they'd ever treat Oliver English like royalty. With dignity, with pride. Roll-up attempt by Nick Flawless. Starts whip into the turnbuckles. Back elbow finds its mark on Ollie's face. Or as Ollie likes to call himself, Oliver motherfucking English. Definitely reminding the folks at home that this is nowhere close to PG. It ain't even TV-14. Another roll-up attempt by Nick Flawless, this time a backslide pin. These two men sizing each other up. Ollie, of course, being a great in-ring tactician. There's one thing that you can't fault him for. It's his way that he handles himself, the way that he carries himself inside the ropes. He knows how to take on challengers of all shapes and sizes. I don't think he's ever fought a man like Nick Flawless here. Both of these men not even remotely American, even though the crowd chanting USA. Oliver English is kind of self-explanatory. He's not even just the king, the monarch of pro wrestling, but he represents England with an iron fist. With some dignity, with some pride. Sleeper hold in effect by Nick Flawless. Of course, representing his homeland of Greece. Adding some European flavor to the main event of Warzone. But do not turn your dials. Do not change the channel. Do not pick up that remote. We still have to hear from the start of the show, France's greatest export, as he likes to call himself, Pierre Cinema, as he looks to address some of the recent controversy from last week's edition of Warzone. He wants to clear the air with his loyal fans. As he wants to be completely transparent with the people that got him this far, as Ollie makes a diving plancha from the top rope down to the floor, finding its mark on Nick Flawless.
14,
Another backslide pin by Nick Flawless. 17 count. All he needs to get back into that ring. Nick Flawless loosening up his wrists. Abdominal stretch by Nick Flawless. Talk about Ricky Rhombus raising his stock by defeating Ding in singles action. Think of the victory. Think of the sizable victory that Nick Flawless could get here tonight if he defeats Oliver English. Oliver English is not going to go down easy. He's never made it easy for anybody in his life. Never call him a man that is afraid of a fight. He will go down swinging if he has to. As Nick Flawless gouges the eyes of the former world champion. And goes low on him too. Two men definitely have a flair for mixing the old with the new here. But I don't think you can find two wrestlers here, not just in KPW, but across all of Twitch wrestling, they're as pound for pound tough as these two in the ring. Oliver English proving his worth. He's tougher than a $2 steak. Nick Flawless not afraid of a fight. Having a flair for the dramatics. Don't let that fool you. You underestimate him and he'll have you right where he wants you. Just like right now, lateral press. 2. Ollie kicking out. European uppercut. Apropos used by Oliver English. Nick sending Ollie right through those ropes. Signaling to the crowd, this could be it. Nick going up top, looking for that patented diving elbow. Right into the sternum of Ollie. He's not finished, he wants to seal the deal here. And who could blame him? That's a former world champion. And Ollie, through blind adrenaline, finding his way back to his feet here. Kicking into that second gear, going to that tapping into that sixth sense, the reserve tank in full force here. Nick looking to continue that assault on Ollie. That diving knee drop. Big reverse suplex by Oliver English. As he rakes the eyes of Nick Flawless. He's not above getting his hands dirty. Royal subjects would typically be the men getting their hands dirty. Ollie is a one-man wrecking machine. And if anybody is equipped to face Slarty in a first blood match, or a steel cage match, or even a barbed wire brawl, surely it would be the Monarch. But if anybody was gonna have the drive to push themselves to the limits as well as their opponent, it'd be Nick Flawless. He's putting in a perfect beatdown on Ollie, almost making it look effortless. Big European uppercut finding its mark again on Nick Flawless. Sharpshooter locked in. Nick's too close to the ropes. Slarty could be in quite the predicament here. He's watching from backstage here. Fisherman brainbuster. We might be standing corrected here. Ollie looking for the Big Ben. He's won championship gold with that. He's made history with the Big Ben, and he's ready to make even more. Ollie is going to Cyber Sunday. What a hard hitting contest between both of these men. Keeping up the intensity from bell to bell. Nick Flawless had the drive. He had the tenacity. He had everything in his skill set to put down a world champion in Oliver English. Even had the drive to not hesitate. To strike while the iron is hot. With those two back-to-back elbows. I don't think anybody expected Ollie to tap into that reserve tank. When you're a former world champion, when you have all the high esteem and high acclaim that comes with being the Monarch, when you are one of the best pound-for-pound wrestlers on the planet, sometimes all it takes is just one Big Ben to get the job done. And we have our match locked in for Cyber Sunday. Slarty versus Oliver English for the KPW Twitch Championship. Whether it'll be a steel cage match, a first blood match, or a barbed wire brawl, that is yet to be decided, and that is up to you, the fans, to ensure that we get the match that we rightfully deserve. But it's not going to be an easy task for Ollie to put down Slarty. But if anybody could do it, it's the Monarch. It is the Royal Highness of KPW. It is the former World Heavyweight Champion, Oliver motherfucking English, bruv. And before we head out, before we sign off for Warzone, we're getting word Pierre Cinema is ready to speak with the Kumite Forum here tonight. The faithful receive some word about his thoughts on the controversial ending. We would love to see what kind of headspace Pierre Cinema is in after he was screwed out of the World Heavyweight Championship, coming so close and yet being so far. Let's go over to ringside right now. Pierre Cinema is waiting just behind the curtain. And there he is, Pierre Cinema. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait just a damn minute. We've been shamed, we've been bamboozled, Speckeldorfed. It's all a ruse, it was a plot.
Finally,
the wool
the
been
star of
pulled
the
over
show
our
is
eyes.
back in the Te Forum. Being a world-class actor seems like the easiest job in the world. All the sauce had to do was throw on a wig, draw on some Mickey Mouse tattoos up and down my arms, buy a flaky gold chain, some trashy cowboy boots, and last but not least these disgustingly cheap sunglasses that only a mother could buy. Now let the
Just
sauce
stomped out
make
those
something
sunglasses.
clear. It is a damn shame that we couldn't get a decisive winner last week on Warzone. It is a damn shame that Shuko stuck his nose in business where it didn't belong. So the sauce did what the sauce had to do and whip his candy ass all around this very ring. And speaking of business, the sauce made that critical save for you, Ding. The sauce was more than willing to let things slide that night because the people know how fair of a man the sauce is. But no, you try to attack the people's strudel. You attack the people's savior. And come August 25th, you put your hands on the people's champ.
People's strudel.
I don't have to play nice, Ding. And if you didn't get that message through your thick skull last week, I won't be playing nice on Sunday. But why are you dressed like Pierre Cinema in the middle of the ring? The sauce picked this for good reason. The night that could have been all about Pierre is all about the sauce. Not Shuko, not Ding. And the sauce is here to make another moment by teaching a lesson to the millions. And millions of the sauce's fans. Never, and the sauce means never, wear an outfit as ridiculous as this in public. It makes you look like a jackass, and the sauce is about to stick these stupid Yosemite Sam boots up 3 asses at Cyber Sunday. If you smell what the sauce is cooked.
And it appears that the real Pierre Cinema has had enough of the sauce here, that imposter. Really trying to run his name in the dirt here. Running through the mud. He's had enough. And I don't blame him. Oh, they're brawling. They're slugging it out. There's taking the fight to the sauce, and he drills him with that pure destruction. And snap DDT, finding its mark right on the sauce's schnoz. And he tosses that imposter out of the ring. And just at the snap of a finger, guess who has reared their ugly head into all this commotion, into all this chaos, all this pandemonium. For the second week in a row, Sigma Shuko is trying to make this all about him in the center of attention. Being firmly around him. And to think that This tag team main event is 6 nights away. It's Cyber Sunday. The Sauce and the World Heavyweight Champion Ding having to team up against Pierre Cinema and Sigma Shuko, and these two are beating the hell out of each other outside the ring. Shuko beating up Pierre Cinema with that trash can. If he really wanted to be accurate with it, he'd throw the can over his head and shoulders and start throwing his body at him. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I get worked up and I have to deal with these egomaniacs like Shuko. Pierre getting some form of revenge here with that low blow. He ain't going down without a fight. This was his moment, his opportunity to clear the air on things, to reinforce a little bit of faith into the Kumite faithful. And Sigma Shuko is just completely taking advantage of the people here. The Sauce especially making no effort to respect France's greatest export, and yet Pierre Cinema puts up a fight. He's doing everything in his power to stay alive here. And he has to deal with this scumbag. This man cost Pierre Cinema the title, the bastard, that son of a bitch. And hitting Pierre with a Pierre destruction. Add insult to injury on this. It throws him out of the ring like a sack of potatoes. But there's another man that has an issue with Sigma Shuko sticking his nose in business where it doesn't belong. It's our World Heavyweight Champion, Ding! Ding looking to lay down the law. As he goes on the assault on Sigma's Shukos here. These four men absolutely loathe each other. And they're gonna have to cooperate for one night. That's the unbelievable part. I don't think any of these four men could coexist long enough just to secure a victory. I knew Ding was gonna have an issue with Shuko after the way War Zone ended last week, after he stuck his nose into that World Heavyweight Championship match. As he hits Shuko with a dinger splash, looking for a Scorpion Ding drop. Oh, and he's sending a message here to the Sauce. Drag him to the center of the ring like he did last week. Lateral press, counting the pin himself. What a message to send to his tag team partner 6 nights from tonight. Sending a message not just to the Sauce, but also Pierre Cinema. Maybe looking to reestablish himself against Ding. Ding, of course, being responsible for pushing Pierre out of the world title scene back in June. When at that point, Pierre Cinema was the #1 contender for Oliver English at Lethal Lottery. The Beat the Clock challenge really changed things. We're still reeling from the effects of that. Ding is absolutely made his message loud and clear, not just for his tag team partner, but for his opponents. Sigma Shuko experiencing that firsthand. The sneaky bastard. That's what our main event of Cyber Sunday is going to look like. Imagine how chaotic the rest of the card is. Solo versus Venom Artemis in a Forum Rules match. Slarty versus Oliver English for the KPW Twitch Championship. And a stipulation of the fans' choice. Jim Ross's open challenge. The Influence, Big Bernard and Tommy Tanks looking to dethrone Hulkamania and become your new tag team champions. The tag team contendership bout. This is shaping up to be one of the most exciting monthly specials that KPW has ever brought out to you guys. We would like to thank you all for the months of support, the weeks of patience, showing up for the crowd, showing up for the fans here tonight. Proving why Kumite Pro Wrestling excels from bell to bell, the premier spot for Twitch Pro Wrestling. I am Tapey Styles, calling it down the middle as always. From the last time in a while from the Kumite Forum. As we'll be moving to the Duckburg Half Bowl, starting with Cyber Sunday, as well as a soft rebrand. Stay tuned for that. Take care, stay safe, and drive home with all precautions. Watch out for traffic, watch out for bad weather. Good night, everybody.